He was one of the greatest, if not the king of scamming. He once sold the Eiffel Tower not once, but twice. He was cunning, smart, and the best in what he does. And believe it or not, he once scammed one of the greatest crime boss in history. Today at Finance Spur, we'll learn about the story of Victor Lustig, the man who scammed the world. But if you like this video or anything about finance, technology, or business, consider subscribing to our channel and like this video for more amazing content. Victor Lustig was born in Bohemia, Austria-Hungary on January 4, 1890. In his youth, he showed an ability to learn quickly, although it often led him into trouble. During a break from his studies in Paris at the age of 19, he turned to gambling and even acquired a distinctive scar on his face during a dispute with a jealous boyfriend. Leaving school, Lustig sharpened his intellect, language skills, and quick thinking to venture into a life of crime. He delved into a variety of scams and cons, accumulating property and wealth as he became a skilled professional con artist. Lustig's early crimes centered around scamming wealthy travelers on ocean liners between France and New York City. One such act was posing as a fake musical producer seeking investments for a non-existent Broadway production. Now, after the suspension of transatlantic liner services due to World War I, Lustig sought new opportunities in the United States. And in the US, his reputation grew, attracting attention from law enforcement agencies due to his audacious schemes. Notably, in 1922, he managed to deceive a bank into giving him money and bonds for a repossessed property, employing sleight of hand to escape with both assets. But one of Lustig's greatest acts was in 1925. Due to him being notorious in the United States, he returned to France and got the idea for a new crime from a newspaper article about the deteriorating Eiffel Tower. He believed people might fall for a scheme involving the iconic monument's supposed sale for scrap. To execute his plan, he posed as a government official and arranged a meeting with scrap metal dealers, convincing them that the French government wanted to sell the Eiffel Tower secretly due to financial troubles. Lustig then manipulated André Poisson, a businessman eager to climb the social ladder, into paying a bribe for ownership. After receiving the money, Lustig fled to Austria, confident that Poisson would be too embarrassed to report the crime to the authorities. Despite his assumptions, Lustig checked the news and found no mention of his scam, leading him to believe he had succeeded. He boldly returned to Paris later that year to repeat the same crime. However, his luck ran out when his new attempt caught the attention of the police, prompting him to escape to the United States to avoid arrest. Now, when he came back to the United States, many people would think that he would turn his life around. But Victor Lustig has a passion for crime. One of his schemes became famously known as the money box or Romanian box scam. In this audacious crime, Lustig ingeniously exploited the duplicating currency bills. He presented unsuspecting targets with a seemingly miraculous machine that could replicate any inserted currency bill. But the process required a 6-hour wait for the identical copy to be produced. The heart of the scam lies in a meticulously crafted mahogany box, cleverly designed to deceive. This ornate contraption featured carefully placed slots for bills and paper, along with a compartment housing a complex arrangement of levers and mechanisms that gave the illusion of authenticity. Lustig's strategy to convince his victims of the machine's effectiveness was remarkably cunning. He would ask them to provide a specific denomination of currency, which he would then purposely insert into the device along with the necessary paper. Together, they would wait until the duplicate bill was generated. To create more credibility, Lustig would escort the victim to a bank to verify the authenticity of the note. Unknown to the target, Lustig had concealed a real bill within the device beforehand, skillfully selecting the denomination based on his hidden stash. Once confidence was established, Lustig would manipulate the situation to his advantage. He would refuse to give the box until the target offered a substantial amount of money. To further make his credibility better, Lustig would strategically pack the box with additional genuine currency, giving him precious time to evade capture before the victim realized the scam. One of Lustig's most amazing exploits involving the money box targeted a Texas sheriff. Lustig managed to persuade the sheriff to pay with a huge sum of money in exchange for the promise of this seemingly miraculous device. Realizing he had been scammed, the sheriff tracked Lustig to Chicago, seeking justice. However, Lustig's skills were not to be underestimated. In a stunning twist, he convinced the sheriff that he was operating the contraption incorrectly, cleverly calming him with a generous sum of cash that, unknown to the sheriff, was fake money. But the luck of one of the greatest con artists and scammers in the world would soon run out. As the weight of the Great Depression comes, Victor Lustig's audacious scams took an even bolder turn, targeting none other than the infamous mob boss Al Capone. Recognizing the immense danger of crossing such a notorious figure, Lustig devised a cunning strategy that balanced risk with reward. Rather than a conventional scam, he aimed to extract a relatively modest sum from Capone, carefully weaving a web of trust around his group. Lustig proposed a $50,000 investment in a lucrative scheme, holding onto the money for 2 months under the disguise of waiting for the venture to materialize. When he eventually returned the funds, claiming the deal had collapsed, Capone was left with the impression that Lustig was an honest man. Building on this false sense of credibility, Lustig painted a picture of his financial prospects, convincing Capone to extend a helping hand with a loan of $5,000. In 1930, Lustig embarked on a high-stakes venture, joining forces with partners William Watts and Tom Shaw to orchestrate a massive counterfeiting operation. Watts and Shaw were tasked with crafting the intricate plates needed for the production of counterfeit dollar bills, while Lustig organized a network of couriers to distribute the counterfeits. This operation injected significant amounts of counterfeit money, dubbed Lustig money, into the US economy for over 5 years. However, the rising influx of counterfeit bills eventually attracted the attention of federal agents, leading to the downfall of Lustig's scams. In addition, Lustig's relationship with his mistress turned bad. This leads her to seek revenge by tipping off federal authorities about his counterfeiting activities. And on May 10, 1935, the great scammer, Victor Lustig, was finally arrested by the authorities after decades of crimes. But he won't claim defeat easily. He escaped from a New York City detention center using a homemade rope, but was captured 27 days later in Pittsburgh. He was then sentenced to 15 years in prison on the notorious Alcatraz Island. But the greatest scammer would soon pass on March 9, 1947, when he contracted pneumonia. Victor Lustig cemented himself in the pillars of crime when he sold the Eiffel Tower and scammed Al Capone. But did you know there are also modern scammers, such as Sam Bankman-Fried, that created one of the biggest scams in the 21st century? If you are interested in videos like this, or videos about finance, technology, or business, check out our channel and subscribe to show your support. For now, this is Finance Burr. Have a great day.